99.9 Punk World Radio FM. This is a special one. These guys just reunited this year in 2025, just this past spring in April. We are joined by the phenomenal, the legendary Kyle, Joe, and Ethan of the Click 5, Boston, Massachusetts finest. How are you three doing tonight?
Dude, so good, man.
We're good.
Thanks for having us. Great to be here.
Oh, man, you are most certainly welcome. But like I said to you guys, thank you. This has been a bucket list interview. I've been a fan for 20 plus years. So this one, I can definitely go on the whiteboard and scratch off that bucket list tonight.
Nice, man.
Nice.
Awesome.
But I know you guys are really busy with the whole tour planning that we're going to get into near the ending, wrapping up of the interview. But I'll dive right into things. I do know, obviously, you guys met out in college and whatnot. So I'm going to not have you guys go through that story again. But in 2004, you guys also, after you guys formed, started playing various local venues that ultimately led to catching the attention of Wayne Sharp. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us the story behind that, of course, and how did you guys ultimately land the attention of Wayne?
Well, yeah, that is the early days. So Joe and I were in a different band, and we were at Berklee College of Music, and we played at this showcase. The school had a record label, and our band, which was called Oscar Bravo at that time, there were a lot of different band names, but we were like on the school label and did a show for like the label showcase, and Wayne Sharp, who was a manager at a nearby agency, happened to be there. And I'm trying to think, like after that, I think we were introduced to him, and he had this idea of a rock and roll boy band. And I remember leaving with Joe from that meeting and saying, I guess we'll cross that idea off the list. That was not really of interest to us. However, as time went on, we kind of stayed in touch with Wayne and worked out, like, what if we do this and that and kind of make it a little bit more of what we wanted to do, which probably ultimately in the long run did not work, because Wayne definitely wanted to be, kind of pioneering the ship. And as it was built, there were a lot of different minds and ideas about how that should go. So that's kind of the brief, slightly elongated brief history. You have anything to add, Joe?
No, I think you got it all.
And once you guys formed, like, you guys hit the ground running. I mean, you guys absolutely blew up. You were worldwide within like literally 1 year of forming almost.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess like within a year of putting out the first record, probably. We put out the first record, and then I don't know, maybe like a year after that, we were on tour in the UK, and I can't remember actually if we went to Asia or the UK first. No, we went to Asia first, I think, but all within about a year, or a year and a half or something like that, of putting that record out. But the early days, I mean, we were playing clubs and we were recording demos and writing a lot of songs, and then we were introduced to Mike Deneen, who produced the record, and then that was like a whole, just like this opening of a whole new world of experiences and education and stuff, and we all loved the recording studio and the process of making an album, which we still love today and have pursued careers in that.
And also, April 25th, 2005, after signing to Lava Records, you guys actually released a 3-track EP titled Angel to You, Devil to Me. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about the story behind Lava Records and, of course, this amazing EP, because I do know these 3 songs were also on the debut solo record as well. The debut studio record, sorry, as well.
You want to field that, Joe?
Yeah, we got signed to Lava. Andy Karp was our A&R guy, and Lava was kind of under Atlantic Records, so we were all just so excited to be on Atlantic. You know, it's like the record label of Led Zeppelin and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, I guess we started recording the record in, when did we start? October?
Fall of 04, probably.
Fall
Yeah.
of 04, and finished it by Christmas. And then that was kind of the first. The EP was like, it was like a little teaser of the record. I think it was Angel to You, Devil to Me, Pop Princess. What was the third song?
Was it Say Goodnight?
Say Goodnight. Yeah. I think so. And then Just the Girl would have been released in February of that year?
I don't remember exactly. I mean, so that teaser came out because we were going on tour. We were opening for Ashley Simpson on her U.S. concert tour, and I think we weren't putting Just the Girl out quite yet. Like, it wasn't like, things weren't quite ready on the label side to do that. So they put this teaser out while we were on tour with Ashley, and it actually charted on Billboard because we were selling so many every night. So we weren't even like officially out there yet, and already there were like these little like spikes in markets happening, and that was getting picked up by Billboard. And then so radio was like becoming interested, and while we were out with Ashley, we started doing all these radio visits, and that's when maybe we started promoting Just the Girl. Which I think maybe officially came out towards the end of her tour or something like that.
And while we're on the topic of Just a Girl, on this one is actually one of the most iconic songs and impactful ones that you guys actually released. It once you guys dropped this, you guys hit the ground running. The song blew up everywhere. But I was wondering if you can actually tell us a little bit more about the inspiration behind this song. And of course, as for the girl that can't keep a secret for more than an hour, was she fictional or non-fictional? Like, was this about someone you guys actually knew back in the day?
What do you think, Ethan?
Am I speaking? Okay. All right, I'll talk again. So that song actually is an interesting story. We did not write that one. We were songwriters. We took pride in songwriting and all that. But that one was brought to our manager, I think by a friend of his. And Adam Schlesinger from the band Fountains of Wayne, who very sadly and tragically died with COVID in like the early days of COVID. Adam wrote that song, and that song, I think the fact that we were playing it is amazing in retrospect, because like we were a nobody band, and Adam is this big songwriter that probably could have gotten it in the hands of whatever other big band, and like it
and
was
we were all
somehow
fans we were all fans of Fountains of Wayne too, so it was like getting a
huge
Fountains
fans.
of Wayne. Yeah.
And then that song is kind of what opened the door to Mike Deneen being interested, because Mike Deneen had just produced Fountain's record Welcome Interstate Managers, which has the song Stacy's Mom on it. So if you hear similarities sonically and stuff, I mean, one is we were listening to that stuff, but also it was the same producer.
Ethan.
What?
It just paused on a really funny face.
And then not to mention as well, I mean, you guys even went all out for the music video. You guys rented a helicopter. You guys like like in a school, man. Like, I mean, you guys went all out for that music video. There is no doubt in my mind when I saw that music video, I knew I was still going to be hearing the song years from now.
It was a different time where you could do things like, oh, Ethan's gone frozen again. Oh, are we back?
Oh, there we are.
Is my internet weird? I have.
I can still see you on my end there, Ethan.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
okay.
good now.
Okay.
Well, before we move on to the
saying?
topic of Greetings from Emery House, I know we touched on Just a Girl, but the album itself, man, is absolutely amazing as well. Like Catch a Wave, so many other amazing songs. I also read as well that within the first year, you guys sold 51,541 units. Did you guys have any idea that this first album would be so impactful, not only with the fans, but just everybody all over the world? Because 51,000 units in 2005 is absolutely amazing.
I mean, I don't remember having expectations really. I think when we were so young, like we were just
We didn't really realize what was going on. Like,
yeah, we were just
it's
trying.
like, oh, of course we're gonna put the record out. And like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
We were just doing the best we could and seeing what came from it. And I think like we were all really full of optimism about where it would lead, but I don't know that we had any real concept of, you know, the places it would take us and the people that we would meet because of it and the experiences that we would, you know, eventually get to have. So yeah, I don't, when we put that record out, I don't think we really had any idea of just, you know, the possibilities.
Endless.
And also as well, Kyle, I want to say my apologies for going through the first little bit and not having you included. But this one's actually for you, man. I did my digging on this one. Way before the Click 5, you actually formed a band with close friends from high school, a band called Hillside Manor. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about your very first band, and of course the transition from Hillside to what we now know you from, the Click 5.
Yeah, man, thanks. And no worries, by the way. I you know, I'm aware that these guys were together before I joined, so no sweat. I love hearing about it. By the way, I'm learning new stuff every time I hear about this. I'm like, I'm learning as well. I'm a fly on the wall. But yeah, so Hillside Manor was active and kind of my bread and butter was my main focus outside of going to Berkeley. A couple of my friends from my hometown in Marietta, Georgia, we started that band, and it was my first taste of being in a real band and actually touring and getting out of our hometown and kind of, you know, traveling around the Southeast. I was from Georgia, so traveling around, you know, getting into South Carolina, and if we did stuff in Florida, we thought that was so cool that we were doing stuff outside of our hometown. So it's just getting this taste of like what it was like to be in a band and front a band and be in front of crowds and kind of crowd control and stuff like that things that I just absolutely love doing. So when these guys hit me up, I think it was a natural progression of like, I really realized that this is kind of what I felt like I was made to do. And when this opportunity came up and met these guys, it was kind of a no-brainer. And I loved their stuff, you know, same as you. I was hearing their stuff on the radio and absolutely loved it. And it was just like a dream come true. Truthfully, it was a big deal for me. I left school, signed a record deal with Atlantic Records with these guys. You know, it was a crazy situation. Everybody was so supportive. My family was so supportive. All my teachers, even at Berkeley, because you kind of go to that school to get an opportunity like that. And all my teachers were like, yeah, get out of here. Go do that. They were like, why would you stay here? That you're here to get something like this. Like, go do that, you know? So yeah, best choice I ever made. That's easy to say.
And obviously, when Eric left the band, did you feel like a little nervous actually coming into the Click 5? Because obviously, Just the Girl was out, like you said, they were smeared all over the radio. I mean, like pure radio candy. I mean, it was everywhere. I mean, did you feel like a little nervous joining the band at that current moment back in 2007?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. I think they're, you know, naturally with like changing a singer is a difficult thing, especially like voices, and my voice is different than his, and there was some things that definitely were daunting to like, you know, is this going to work with a new singer? And you know, still to this day, there's people that don't like that choice, and you know that is what it is. There's going to be people in the future that feel that way, but the cool thing is what we've seen is that with some time passing, we've kind of realized how powerful the songs are and the songwriting is. And we just really feel like now we're just so grateful to have songs that people know. And we've been really feeling like we're the vehicle for the songs, not the other way around, you know. And we're just happy to go out there and do it and play for people. And it seems as though there are still people out there that want to hear us play. And yeah, so I mean, the real answer is yes, absolutely. It was daunting, but you know, it is what it is. We just made it happen, and the show must go on. So here we are 20 years later, still doing it.
Slower.
We're a little slower and a little older. We got a few more LBs on us, but you know, we're still going strong.
Well, I'll say, guys, I've seen the video of your reunion. Again, we're going to talk about that here in a bit, but I just have to say, just when you're on the topic of that, you might think you're slower, but you guys did not miss a beat. You guys didn't miss a strum, and you didn't miss a harmony when I saw that video that you guys reunited the Jonas Brothers. So, I mean, as a fan, I don't know what you're talking about, man. You guys definitely still have it.
Well, you don't see backstage when we're like
in the ice.
But the main thing is, at least you can still stick and move on stage. That's the main thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we really come to life like moments before we have to go on.
Yeah, it's a lot of stretching.
Before that. Yeah, we're like passing off our walkers to our wives.
It's a lot of stretching and massage, and then you know the ice bath afterwards and Advil.
Hey, at least you guys got the walkers. You don't got the life alert yet. The life alert is when you have to worry.
I know, right? It's like we have you know, we're still doing it, but we have different like goals for sponsorships. Like we want to get sponsored by Advil and Metamucil and Life Alert.
Don't forget Gold Bond as well.
And Gold Bond.
But also as well, the first album, Kyle, that you were actually a part of was June 26th of 2007, Modern Minds and Pastimes, that actually had so many amazing singles, from Happy Birthday to the unforgettable Jenny. I was wondering if you could actually just tell us a bit more about this album and, of course, that amazing single, Jenny.
Yeah, totally. That was actually the first song that I heard when I was coming in to join the band, and that was one of the first ones I came in to like sing and play with these guys and kind of rehearse and so I guess audition, you could say. And it was like one of those just earworms, like just absolutely stuck in my head every single moment of every day for weeks on end. And when you have that, you know you got something good. We still hear it now. Like I have, you know, people that we're constantly getting messages, like people that are just now finding our band. And they're like, man, that song stuck in my head. Like, how'd you guys do that? Basically, it's just a great song, great songwriting. Yeah, so it was fun memories for me, like going in the rehearsal room with these guys and playing that for the first time.
It's kind of like when you watch Forrest Gump for the first time and he yells Jenny, and that's stuck in your head. And then when you then it's the opposite now. When you watch Forrest Gump, you hear the song Jenny, and you're just like, okay.
Exactly like that. We actually did. A lot of people were like, I feel like if that song were released today, all like, you know, like the comments on every video, like there would be like gifs of Forrest Gump. I think nowadays that would be the thing.
we should get that retroactively put that on the soundtrack.
Yeah. Jenny.
I could just imagine if that song was released in like 93 and the movie came out in 94, without a doubt that song would be in the movie. Just as Jenny leaves for like the last time and breaks his heart, you just hear like, you know, it's standing still, Jenny, just you know, just write the underlay of the movie. It'd be amazing. But also, May 17th of 2011, I'm not trying to make this all about albums, but I found this one really fascinating because Your final album and most recent album was released in North America called TCV on May 17th, 2011, but it was released a year before in 2010 in Asia. There was 3 different release dates all across the world. I was wondering if you can tell us a bit more about the album and, of course, what led to the 3 separate release dates.
Yeah. Well, the 3 separate release dates, Ethan, you have a way better memory than me, but I know that it was a little bit like streaming was definitely happening, but it was like before that was really like compartmentalized. Like you could still compartmentalize the releases for like territories. Whereas now it's like it's just a global release no matter what. But I think that's why, right? Like we did a Euro release and a Asia release.
Well, I think the Asia one is that we had been dropped by Lava Atlantic like the year before maybe. And then we made that record on our own and we paid for it on our own. And we were looking for a deal. We were looking for a record company to put it out. And I believe Asia was the first thing that actually came together. And we were looking, I mean, remember Kyle, you and I lived together in New York and we were like getting on the subway with our acoustic guitars and going to all the record companies and playing in their conference rooms. After I think the Asia deal was done, I think we were like shopping for a sort of like rest of the world deal.
I remember, yeah.
And we were like so close with a couple of them, but it didn't happen. And they even I remember there were a few record companies that actually asked for like revisions on the record. Like, can you change these things? And like, I don't remember I think we did. We went back into Don't Let Me Go. And that's why there's like a different version of it from what originally we had done. It was more acoustic.
It was just acoustic. Right.
So then we did like a more produced version based on like what the record companies that we were meeting with were asking for. And anyway, long story short, like we put the record out in Asia and then didn't find a US deal. And so it came out on Q Division Records, and Q Division was the recording studio that Mike Deneen and John Lupfer owned, and they had a label. And so they were like, we'll just put it out under our label. So I believe that's why it was different times, had to do with just like,
3 different labels.
You know, looking for the right opportunity and then sort of settling in the end because we didn't really find the opportunity.
Yeah.
And also as well, fast forward to this year, April 2025, you guys made a surprise appearance and reunited at the Jonas Brothers concert, as we briefly kind of mentioned throughout the interview. What made you guys decide to get the band back together and reemerge within the music industry this past spring? Because I got to say, as a fan, I was super stoked when I saw that video. I was praying for tour dates, and I know you guys got those announced as well.
Yeah, man. Dude, there's literally no PR marketing person in the world that could have put all this together. I feel like we got so lucky with all this. I mean, first and foremost, the Jonas Brothers, like they couldn't have been nicer and cooler, and they were so stoked to have us, and we were beyond stoked to be there. They just DM'd us on Instagram and sent a video basically being like, hey, remember us? You want to come and play this show and guest? We're having a special guest every single night, which is a very cool idea. And they saw that we were active again. We were doing like some little pepperings of shows, and we kind of did a similar thing. We guest appeared at a emo night. We've actually done 2 of them now. Shout out emo night. So we did one in LA. We just played a couple songs acoustic, and I think the Jonas Brothers saw that video of us playing there, so they were like, wait a second, I didn't know they were back, we got to do this again. Going back in time, I think they maybe said this at the show, but they opened for the Click 5 in 2005 or 2006 or something, and that was I don't think any of us really knew that to the extent, but that was their first ever show, like real show. I think they had done some little stuff, like maybe like open mics and whatever, small gigs around their hometown and stuff, but they had never done a real gig yet until opening for the Click Five. So I think there was this cool backstory there, and yeah, they just DM'd us, and at first they actually were like, "Can you be here tonight?" And they were playing in DC the night. I woke up to this message, and they were playing in DC that night. And Joe was like, "Crazier things have happened. Maybe you happen to be here or nearby. Could you be at the show tonight?" And Joe and I are here in LA, so we couldn't make it happen. But we were like, "Dude, literally any other show, you just say the word, and we will be there." And he sent like literally every single tour date remaining on the tour, and he was like, "Pick one of these." So we picked the first one available, which was the Philly show in Camden, New Jersey, and
It's crazy.
it was just nuts. I mean, it was like a lifetime career highlight, easily. Like this really eye-opening experience for us too, being so far out of the game and seeing like there's concrete evidence. We're standing there playing for 25,000 people. It's sold out, 25,000 people, and damn near all of them are singing Just a Girl, without knowing that we were going to be there. So it's this complete surprise. They start hearing that song, and maybe they don't even know our band name, but that song just rings in their head, and they're like, "Wait a second, I know this," and then they're all singing along. So it was this really, really cool moment, and some kind of rocket fuel for us to keep going with this comeback. So yeah, big thanks to the Jonas Brothers. That was a very, very special week.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned before, but even before the Jonas Brothers show, you were kind of, trickling back into the music industry, doing some shows and some emo nights. But Kyle, taking you just to 2019, I remember seeing a clip of this on the internet. You were asked in an interview with CNN if the band would ever reunite in the future, to which you responded, if the right opportunity and offer came along, like a show that could bring us together again, we would be interested in doing that. With that being said, obviously you guys did shows before the Jonas Brothers. Do you remember that one opportunity that made you pick up the phone and call Joe and Ethan and be like, we need to get the boys back in town?
Yeah, definitely. It was a reverse of that situation, which is it's these guys, Ethan and Joe. Several times over the years, there's been a couple times where it's like, hey, maybe this is going to work. They've kept definitely an ear to the ground about like how can we get this back together? Is the right thing out there? And it just hasn't quite come together. But in late 2024, they called me or you texted me and you were like, "Hey, do you have a minute?" And
Kyle was like, "Oh gosh, here we go again. Here come Ethan and Joe wanting to get the old band back together." But this time we actually had we had legitimate offers. In Southeast Asia, and I
think we had two. We had like two offers in the Philippines, right? That was like the catalyst.
Yeah.
There was a Filipino promoter that offered us two shows kind of out of nowhere, right? And we were just like, well, we should see, can we build more around it and have this materialize? So we ended up going to the Philippines in May, along with we went to Singapore and Malaysia, and we did a few stops in each place, and we did six shows back in May. And they were off the hook. I mean, just like we had old fans and we had new fans, and it was we sold out some of the shows, and it was like some were like big theaters, one was an arena, at least one was an arena. I mean, it was like getting thrown right back in,
And it was even bigger. It felt like bigger now than it was back then. I mean, it's that thing of like, there's been 15 years in between. So there's this whole, decade and a half of new people that have gotten, come across our music and had no idea who we were back then were way too young back then. Maybe they knew us, but they were way too young. We kept hearing that story. Like people were like, I was 11 in 2007. I couldn't see you guys at the show, but now I have like adult money and I can come and buy concert tickets and come see you guys. So that was like the running joke was like, we started asking from stage, we're like, how many of you guys have seen us play live before? Or I think I worded it like, how many of you haven't? Yeah, how many of this is your first time? And like almost the whole room raised their hands. So it really felt like this, I don't know, we felt like a new band almost, which was kind of interesting. But anyway, yeah, these guys came with some things that were like, all right, you know what, this just feels like this is going to be fun, and let's just go do it again.
And when you said the whole room raised their hand, I have to say it makes me feel blessed because I'm 31 now, so I want to say I was about 11 at that time when I first saw you guys live in 2005 at the Krell Center in Ottawa. So
nice.
I mean, it makes me feel good and kind of bad. I'm like, damn, I feel bad for everyone else not being able to experience that when they were young. But I mean, I will admit I can't remember very much of that concert, so I guess I'm not really that blessed. I remember Just the Girl and I think Catch a Wave, but I just remember Just the Girl, and that was about it. My mind's kind of foggy from all the years ago.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're the exact age that we kept hearing. Like that was the exact story. Like people in their, very late 20s, early 30s, that are like, they can do whatever they want now, and they're excited to just be going out and going to shows and stuff. So it's like this wave of nostalgia right now in general. There's a lot of this is happening, and we just have this like feeling of gratitude.
Yeah.
Like having any sort of presence that people know about, having a song that people know, having some history. We're seasoned. We've been doing it for a long time, so coming back felt really natural. It's also like not our only thing that we're doing now, so we have this new view on it that's just like more chill, and we're just excited. We're just like happy to be here is the feeling. And I keep saying this, like we've all been working on music this whole time. It's not like we left the music industry, and we've all worked on projects, like a ton of stuff, which most of it like hasn't done anything, or it's been like on a smaller degree. So to have something that's like globally known, like some of our songs are, just is really special and is super rare. So yeah, we're just grateful. It's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And this October, the Click 5 tour is set to begin in Los Angeles, California. What can your fans expect from this up-and-coming tour? And of course, where can we snag ourselves some tickets today if they are indeed still available? Because I'm quite sure, like, this is the reunion tour, so I'm quite sure most of these tickets are getting either low or sold out.
Yeah, we sure hope so. Yeah. They're for sale via our social media pages. That's probably the easiest way to find them. Our links are all up there. Some of them are Live Nation, and some of them are Bowery Presents. So those would be the two promoters. So if you all know those and can find them that way, but they're out there. They're easy to find. So go grab your tickets. We would love to see everyone there. We seriously can't wait for this.
Link in bio.
Link in bio. The link will be right here. You guys have that capability, right?
I will make sure when I edit this clip that when you go like this, the link will pop up. That is my
Amazing.
goal.
Perfect.
But with that being said, obviously, the tour's coming. You guys reunited. It seems like you guys are back and most definitely better than ever. I got to say, you guys are great then, but just it's good to have you guys back, with that being said. But with the tour, is there going to be a brand new Click 5 album in 2025 or the foreseeable future? I have to ask that because I know fans are wondering, is new Click 5 music on the way?
Wow, that's a great question. I think it's safe to say, I think we're make it public now that we are working on new music.
Yep.
Yeah, we're it's been a little bit, it's been kind of bumbling up, and we wrote a song before we went to Asia, right around when we went to Asia, and we actually started playing it on tour, just like acoustically. It's about all of this nostalgia that's happening, and it's kind of about us coming back, and it kind of touches on like old like MTV days, and it's this I feel like we have this cool split of like our old sound in 2025 and beyond. So we're kind of bridging this gap of like using all our old tricks, but doing it today. So it's been very exciting. It's been very fun. And yes, it's only one song so far, but we do plan to work on more stuff now that we're back.
And I got to say, definitely, I'm actually in shock. Thank you so much for the exclusive first and foremost. But with that being said, when can the fans actually expect this brand new Click 5 album? Single, my apologies, single.
Oh boy, I don't know.
Hopefully soon. Hopefully very soon. I think we have to we should figure out the best way to put it out.
Yeah. We're kind of still in the like music creation and the artistry portion of it, so we haven't quite like switched on the business side of things. Our management and agent and everything, they all know that we have a song coming, so there's already some conversations being had, but we're debating if we're going to put it out before these shows coming up or not. If we'll be able to get it together before then. I think we're going to play it live at the shows, so that we know. But as far as releasing it, I think the earliest would be like, this year, but it might be sometime next year, like before summer.
And aside from the tour and, of course, the brand new single that's currently in preparation, what is next for the Click 5? Is there anything we happen to miss during this evening's interview that you guys still want to touch on, talk about, or promote? What still got you here live on the radio station airwaves tonight?
What do you guys think? Anything else that we...
Be more shows next year.
Yeah,
I think we want to do more shows, probably a few more parts of the country. We're talking about, like, so far the tour this fall is 2 dates out west and then a handful of dates on the East Coast. It sounds like maybe in the spring there might be some Midwest stuff, and we'll go from there. So stay tuned, and probably some more international dates as well as they sort themselves out.
Yep.
Hopefully Canada can catch that wave as well and get you guys down here for a couple shows.
I'd love to get back to Canada.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We would love to.
Because I think it's been quite a few years since you guys been to Canada. I think the last time was maybe back in the early 2000s, maybe?
I mean, yeah, like 2005 might be the last time. Maybe 2006. I don't think we ever went with you, Kyle, did we?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta change that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, Kyle, if you've never been to Canada, Kyle, all I got to say is when you come down here, or come up here, I should say, definitely get yourself a poutine, man. You definitely need one of those.
Yes, dude. Yes. We need to make the show happen just for that.
Yeah. That's the only reason we go on tour, really.
Yeah.
We're gonna eat at different places.
Yeah.
I mean, if you make it happen just for that, a poutine and a beaver tail, because you got to have a beaver tail for dessert. I mean,
yeah.
I don't even think I'm going to tell you what a beaver tail is. Just order one, and you'll be like, "Whoa, that's a lot of sugar," but you'll enjoy it.
Do you have to wear a toque when you eat these things?
I mean, you can if you want to, but just not in the summertime, because people might be like, "Why is this guy wearing a toque?"
Okay.
How about that, eh?
How about that? Well, yeah, we need to try beaver tail. Actually, we should get sponsored by Tums as well.
I would definitely suggest that, because if you eat a lot of poutine, you're gonna need some Tums. Maybe a little bit of gas X as well. If they turn down the sponsorship for Tums, just try gas X.
There we go. Now we're talking.
But guys, before we part ways tonight, obviously, I know how to follow you on social media. I feel like you guys don't even need to tell your social media handles, but just in case, some people might not be that fluent with social media, how do we go about following the legendary Click 5 across all social media platforms if we're not already doing so? But like I said, if you're watching the Click 5 interview, you must already be following them.
Yeah, well, if you're not, we are super easy at the Click 5. And this is new, right? And then I'm going to punch it out of the way. You don't
The
have
amount
to
of
do that.
editing I have to do now is like, damn.
Don't do that. Don't do that. And then I'm going to spin it around like this and then throw it out of here. Yeah, you can find us at the Click 5, which we have as of early 2025. So we're new to social media. So come say what's up to us. We are doing all of the TikTok trends. We're having a blast with it. We're just laughing about it and having fun with it. So come follow us, say what's up.
And I got to say, first and foremost, Kyle, Joe, Ethan, thank you so much for giving not only myself, but the radio station airways a bit of your time. I told you this before we went live, but I just want to say it to you one more time. Your guys' music made such a positive impact on me throughout the years. I've been a fan for, like I said, 20 plus years. I own all your guys' albums. So thank you so much for this interview, your time, and of course, just coming back and doing what you guys love to do, and that's music. I'm definitely going to try my best to come out to a Click 5 show again because it's been a long time, literally 20 years. So that needs to happen. But again, guys, thank you so much for making inspirational music that myself and so many fans for so many years had the opportunity to enjoy. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Man. Thanks for having us. It means a lot, man. Thank you.
Hey, you're most certainly welcome, guys. Have yourselves a wonderful night. And of course, safe travels all across the country on tour. I'm pretty sure we definitely shall talk again here soon. But for now, have yourselves a phenomenal night.
Thanks. Thank you. You too.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
You're welcome, guys.